almost similar now in that, like you said, they're fighting for their spots. They're proving that they have what it takes to play at the tier 1 level. So a lot of pressure on both of these squads, but for DSG, I think the big conversation is Srtty is back on the team. I'm excited to see how they continue to grow with him. Happy to have him with a starting spot for the first time in a year now on Disguise. Vi locked in first for Shopify Rebellion, so some jungle focus for Contractz to kick things off in game 1.
And that's usually where teams' focus are when they're playing versus Shopify. Contractz at the end of spring had some very big games.
That Olaf game.
The Olaf game,
Went
1v9, but also his Wukong game in the exact same series was also massive carry. So definitely have to always be looking out for jungle-focused gameplay. And if they're going for the first pick, Vi, you immediately start to think, all right, what is Zinie going to pick to pair with it? The Ahri, Taliyah style champions. Taliyah's definitely dropped way further in priority, but you can start off a lot of different style compositions with that. Rumble is very good for Fudge. They could do. Oh, okay. So they instantly go full dive, and the Camille and Galio combination. This is just the hardest dive that you can get, Kangas, in 1, 2, 3.
I mean, these two alone, a classic combo, the Camille plus Galio. Vi on top of it means that they have so much ability to just get onto that backline. Ziggs can throw out damage from pretty far away, but doesn't have a lot of mobility outside of the satchel, so can be tough to keep yourself alive. We don't know where the Ziggs is going, though, and that's something I wanted to highlight earlier. You talked about how much DSG's bot lane has been struggling. So I got to ask, Kobe, do you have faith that sajed's going to be able to pilot the mages in the meta right now? Because a lot of AD carries, if they can play the mages, it's good in comps, but not every AD carry likes to play mages, and he's a young player, still in his rookie year. So what do we think about DSG's bot side with this
I think
format?
Ziggs is pretty easy, so I think he's going to be completely fine. I feel like this is the training wheels mage for basically all bottom laners. Just like the first mage that you go to. That or male, but basically. And I think he should be fine with landing at least a decent amount of the bombs. He is going to be under tremendous pressure though, because Vi, Camille, and Galio, as they're saying, is super heavy dive. Now the Shen is always such a good answer to Vi individually, as we've seen really pushed forward, especially by Griffin with jungle Shen. But this Shen, I'm thinking, is going bottom lane in support and not into the jungle. So maybe he'll be lower level than like the jungle Shen answers, of course, since they have the Jarvan. And so you're going to be looking more at the lane of like Shen combination into the Camille to try and kill it, like we saw at MSI. And so now we're in a world where they could move either of the AP carries down there, but still expecting the Ziggs to be the bottom one.
Catching up on the bans with Syndra, Kai'Sa, and then Vayne, Olaf. And that means Cassiopeia is locked in for DSG. Now, I also think of Cassiopeia as one of those mages that can be played in the bot lane. I would expect it for Callme in the mid with sajed as the Ziggs. But what this also does is it removes those options later in the draft for Shopify Rebellion, who will go for Ezreal as their bot laner.
Yeah, get some safety there. And an AD carry where you can still buy Camille roaming time. Especially since it's going to be against Ziggs. You dodge the bombs, try and hit your Mystic shots. Very, very similar so far. And we're just going to go with the Gnar since they've got the Vayne and the Olaf bans, protection bans that they did in the second round there for Shopify for Fudge. So he should feel fine, should feel confident.
And that means that it's going to be Camille support with that Ezreal. So
is it a top lane TF, Kangas? Are you a believer of the top lane TFs?
I mean, if it's Srtty, I'm going to be a fan of whatever carry he chooses to play. When I see this guy, I want to see him on something that he has individual agency on. I think this makes a little more sense for what I've seen from him so far. So we got excited with the TF, but no, it's Ambessa.
And it's the thing you mentioned with Srtty, one of his biggest tools that he used to get rank 1 was range top laners. A lot of the Vayne, of course, but definitely have confidence in him doing like the range TF and stuff as well. And really trying to abuse those matchups. That's part of the reason we had so much hype for Srtty coming in, and we're looking for him to try and abuse it. But just goes with a more standard matchup, as you say, the Ambessa, very standard here, looking for the carry. And this is going to be an action-packed game for sure. I expect a lot of kills in this game because both teams moving forward. Of course, DSG, they have a bit more of the counter engage with Shen and Cassio and Ziggs. And so Shopify do have to choose their moments wisely, but I think they have enough crazy dive that will be successful.
Engage is the name of the game for both of these compositions. So many tools to kick off fights. I'm just hoping that the pace of the game answers that because there's potential for some crazy, crazy skirmishes early on here. We see how much these supports have been roaming so far around the world. Camille and Shen definitely on that list of supports that can do so. Shopify Rebellion versus Disguised. A bit of a rivalry between these two teams as it was one last match in Spring Split to determine who was going to playoffs. Shopify Rebellion won that series, squeaked in 6th seed to playoffs, denying Disguised that appearance. These guys have the opportunity now to get some early revenge in Summer Split. Game 1, we're on to the Rift.
And now, Disguised have had a lot more time to practice with Srtty. We talked about how quickly he actually did mesh with the team, and they fit him in quite nicely and looked pretty good. But now I'm very excited since they've had so much extra practice time with him to see how they can pull it off. Of course, with Ambessa Gnar being a pretty standard matchup for the top side, we'll look a lot more towards the team fights and see how they interact later.
We got 4 games on stage from Srtty in Spring Split, and already he looked good in each of those. Yes, 2 of them were losses, but even in those losses, he individually had gold leads, which is something that Disguised desperately need. As it is Raz's match of the week.
Let's go. As I said, Raz gets second pick for his match of the week. Emily gets first pick, and Raz gets second pick.
I'm surprised he didn't pick like Lion FlyQuest yesterday.
You're surprised? This is the Raz angle. Just you wait. Also, I think with the draft, Raz is probably onto something. I feel like we're gonna get some good action, and we'll see in this one because we also, as we were talking about during Champion Select, we have quite a lot of changes with these two teams, which is another reason Raz might pick this one. Raz has always been a Zeyzal enjoyer.
It's level 2, goes in, but it's going to be answered by Lyonz. Better trade for Shopify.
Yeah. As Zeyzal has picked up on this team, they had the video where they talked about it with Seos, and Seos wanted to go back home, feeling a bit homesick, and so they were kind of had a difficult time finding somebody to come in for Shopify. And Zeyzal gave an interview with Kaltzicki where he even talked about, I wasn't really even looking to get back into Tier 1. Zeyzal was streaming, and that was going well and kind of chilling. And now we have the long career timeline. As you can see, he had that stretch here on Shopify and was just inactive streaming, but they convinced him to come back in their time of need, Kangas.
Exactly. So you can see his exact quote that he had there, but then also his timeline. As you could witness, he's been playing for a while. That was from 2023, though, so it's been a minute since he's been in LCS and showing some of his time in Tier 2. Fun fact, had been on the DSG team that got them promoted into the LCS originally, before then subbing for Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, I like that. I like that quote that you pulled up as well from him.
Yeah. Felt like being a little guilt-tripped, low-key. Top lane, big trade comes through there. Srtty's barely able to survive. Fudge almost finding a solo kill, so Srtty already not getting the better of this top lane 1v1. Fudge has been motivated so far. You could tell in those reviews that Shopify put out from that video. He cares a lot. He was very animated and very opinionated on what Shopify needs to do to kind of improve their year.
And I think that seeing passion and seeing how much they care is a good thing, as we have some aggressive moves
now on the roam, plus Lyonz support to coming in, but that's a flash out from DSG support. Re-engaged now, trying to lock down Zeyzal and first blood to Callme. DSG get it done.
Nice escape from Lyonz, and it allows Callme with the counter miasma to make sure Zeyzal can't get back out for the first blood. The Winds of War barely aren't going to be able to touch the Shen, and Lyonz is going to get his recall off, but because he's able to live there, uses both summoner spells, is able to live under tower, and getting Callme the first blood, I mean, that is huge for this team comp. Cassiopeia is the big damage here and has the possibility, if you can protect the Cassio, to have very big counter engage into this Shopify team. So really setting him up perfectly.
Not going to slow Zeyzal down as he's going to go for more damage onto sajed, but I love the counter of Cassiopeia into something like Camille. Camille support's been all over the place. I haven't picked it up yet in my solo queue games because I don't trust my mechanics, but if you watch pro play, she can just take over games from the support role, but Cassiopeia with that miasma, you can't go anywhere. Once you hookshot onto that wall, it's a really good counter, and I think that we saw an example of it there. Callme now with that gold. Let's see what he can do with it as Lyonz the mission for the Shen is going to be to try and match that Camille roam. But if you're leaving lane, you're not going to get that level 6 as fast, as you already highlighted earlier, Kobe. So that's kind of the catch-22 of playing Shen support these days.
Yeah, Camille loves to thrive. As soon as Camille's level 3, she's ready to go, right?
She's out. Yep, she's like a toddler. You know, can't stop walking.
Yeah, she can create a lot of havoc, just like a toddler can, while she's toddling around the map.
It's like they learned how to stand up and move their legs. It's like, yeah, you can't stop them now. As Lyonz, nice taunt under turret. Bvoy will take one shot, get away.
Yeah, but as we will see too, we did have a big magnifying glass on these solo lanes. And one of the things for DSG that I felt like has been a strength, that they can use, especially could be this Callme into Zinie matchup. Zinie definitely has not lived up to all the hype that he had coming over from LCK Challengers and hasn't had the big splash in LCS that they were looking for yet. Meanwhile, Callme, even though he has not had, these superstar vibes coming from him, I thought he's had, especially like Akali games and stuff like that, where he's had some very significant potential to carry. Top side, though, Contractz is ready.
It's looking like top is where the next action will happen. Srtty has flash available, has public execution. How's he going to try and outplay this? It's going to be a 3-man dive. Public execution will land onto Contractz. Good start for Srtty to survive this one, as Ezreal will take up one turret. And with Lyonz there, Shopify back off.
And that means, since they only have Lyonz there as a defense, they can have KryRa just take the objective. Other side of the map was already working on Dragon. And so Shopify, they make the call, hey, we're going to make a cross-map play, try and dive topside while they go for Dragon. Unsuccessful, and they didn't even get a summoner spell out of Srtty. Just the ultimate is enough to keep him alive and buy the time for Lyonz to get up there.
Yeah, without the ultimates from Ezreal or Contractz, it's much harder, especially when Fudge used his to try and clear the wave. So they just didn't have enough lockdown to fully shut down that top side of the map. And that means now a 1,000 gold for DSG plus that Dragon, as you highlighted. KryRa can just get right back to his camps. And, that ultimate from Ambessa will be up shortly. Good start for DSG early on in Game 1.
Yeah, I'd say very, very good start. Lyonz here soaking up some experiences.
Good look for the taunt. The Petrifying Gaze will get a slow on to Zinie, as the taunt not quite in range from Lyonz. Didn't have the flash available either, so no kill.
Yeah, Zinie able to get the wave and get back out, so pretty good. Even though it was a close call, is going to be able to get his reset off. And now we're approaching the point that you're looking for, Kangas, where you have these ultimates available. Contractz with Bvoy can start off the fight, and they can layer with Galio ultimate. Ezreal, of course, similar to Lyonz, still has quite a bit to go since they're roaming so much on the supports, but we definitely could be looking for our sideline plays. There still is no flash for a very small amount of time left on Lyonz, but the Shen is straight back to top side anyway, roaming right back out again.
And the fact that Shopify haven't really been able to find any big plays without that Shen ultimate, he's going to get it within the next couple of minutes here, which means that now that Shen stand united will prevent future dives from happening. You don't have to hover Srtty if you have the Shen available.
All right, looks like we're going to have 8 people at the grubs.
Who's going to contest it? KryRa's over the wall. First grub should go to Shopify here, as Contractz has enough backup, but DSG are actually looking topside right now. Fudge will spot them on the ward, throws up the thumbs up. About to hit Mega, has flash available, so I doubt he's going to go down anytime soon. And DSG actually just kind of get pushed back, and that means more time for Shopify on the grubs. That looks like it's all 3, or at least 2 there taken. And there we go. 3 grubs. Flash from Callme. Go for the miasma onto Contractz, so he can't get the vault breaker of the wall. We'll use the flash. No taunt onto Fudge. Shopify get out with the grubs.
I mean, this is a huge, huge W for Shopify here. In the game where DSG had some control there, Shopify are able to not only get the objective, but Fudge threatening 3 people on topside while charging up his Gnar bar. Able to draw a lot of focus, and Zinie is able to get back in time for the mid wave as well anyway. Then Callme, in his stress to try and make a play out of something, flash miasmas, but...
I mean, it's a splash for Contractz splash, but I would say you're happier as Contractz.
Way happier, because you want to go in anyway, and you do still have your ultimate. So the Cassio that got the first blood is definitely a viable target now with no flash. So it's definitely looking a lot better for Shopify after the last, Grubs play sequence that we just had here. Now they've got a lot of opportunity, and you can tell circling around mid lane already. Step number 1 is get that vision control. And then they could see if they could follow up with the Camille, with the Vi.
Looks like they're doing it right now. Let's see if either of these supports hit level 6 off this wave. It looks like Lyonz might. Zeyzal's still pretty far away from level 6, so I'm not imagining a Hextech Ultimatum by this next Dragon fight. Lyonz does get Stand United now. And Camille without Hextech Ultimatum means that you don't have that lockdown for the Galio ult. You're kind of relying on the Vi at that point, which is only going to be like 1 guaranteed target as opposed to potentially multiple if both ults go at the same time.
And I'll give you one guess who that guaranteed target's going to be.
Ooh, one guess. Okay, well, I would say Callme's like the threat with the goal, but with Rod of Ages, a little tankier. What about sajed?
Stick with your gut. I would say stick with your gut.
All right, we'll stick with the gut.
Sajed still has his flash. Some weird stuff can happen with his explosive charge. I'd say your first instinct is good. The no flash Cassiopeia seems like a good target for a Vi Galio combo. So I think that's what Shopify can use, that threat, to get into this dragon setup. And kind of split dragons for the next one. It is Hextech Dragon, so Contractz, just go for a recall, make your purchase, and then should have Sundered Sky done. Yes, he does. There you go. And that should be enough for them to try and get mid-prio first and then look for the dragon. Meanwhile, Lyonz, with his Shen ult, he knows he could try and make a topside play and then still have possibilities of contesting dragon afterwards.
I like it, especially when Fudge is in Mega now. He's going to be running low on that bar here. If he walks too far forward, Lyonz could look for a potential kill, but that wave should get under. I think Fudge is playing very safe right now.
Yeah, good job from him. And even if he doesn't 100% suspect that Shen is in the brush, he also just knows that Shen has ulti. So now he sees him, and now he's mini, and he's going to have to respect that.
Yeah, I mean, if you just throw out a public execution, teleport will come in defensively. The taunt lands onto Fudge. Srtty's trying to get back in range, get some more damage. Looks for the public execution, but just completely mispositions it. Lyonz punished for it. And that's a kill over to Fudge.
Oh, man.
Ooh, and now mid lane, even more action. As Vi will go in, and that Cassiopeia goes down. You mentioned no flash. Shopify Rebellion pounds.
Kangas, the Rebellion is getting stronger. The Rebellion in summer here. Looks like they're taking over in the mid game. KryRa still wants this dragon, though. Should be a little bit dangerous for him to go for.
Yeah, with multiple members of Shopify nearby. Can't imagine KryRa will actually have a chance at getting this unless he has more backup.
Especially because they only use the Vi ultimate. So they still have Camille ultimate combo with Galio ultimate ready. Very, very dangerous. So if anybody's in the river there.
And because of that play from Lyonz topside, it bought time for Zeyzal to get that Hextech ultimatum. So he has that for the dragon fight. It's started by Shopify.
KryRa still thinking he wants to get in there.
Srtty's back is stopped. He didn't have teleport anyway, so he's not going to be here. It's just maybe a steal. KryRa can't get in range. Shopify gets the dragon and get out.
Yeah, I don't even see a world where they ever contest there. I feel like you should just go farm your camps.
Yeah.
Not waste time kind of looking around and walking into the dragon, because there's plenty of camps available on this top side of the map for them to go for. But they walk up and they see that the Shopify have already taken it. So Lyonz flashes, by the way. This I thought was cool, to try and flash to make sure Fudge can't hop away from the taunt. So he still lands it, but they don't have the damage afterwards. And Srtty pops the ultimate and then dashes out, and Fudge was walking forward anyway. So he's like, I'm not getting hit by that.
Fudge was like, I'm getting a kill here. I'm not running.
Yeah, Fudge styling on him. I think this has been quite a good game from him so far, not showing any fear in a lot of these situations, except also showing the appropriate amount of caution, right? So he's not fearful, but then when the Shen could be in the bush or the Shen could be making a play, you know, he was CSing very safely and played that one quite nicely. So
calculated. Yeah, that's a mental fighter right there. It's like the boxer that dodges and punches. Yeah,
hasn't been hit in the head too many times yet.
Right? no concussions yet for Fudge.
Meanwhile, the rest of the team here being able to go get Hex Dragon is very, very beneficial. So I want to see if they can build off of that. Later stages of the game is where this comp is really scary. Once the outer towers are gone, and it makes it harder for these disguised carries to rotate around the map. If you don't have outer towers, sometimes people are going to get caught, as they are a little bit.
Vault Breaker in, just chunks down Lyonz a little bit. Working towards that first item as Shen. As Callme with this top lane rotation. Ooh, not able to get the miasma down in time for Zinie's Justice Punch.
And off of that for Fudge, that kill, having the steel caps and your Trinity Force is such a good power spike for Gnar. You know, you rush the steel caps early for defense purposes, but then once your Trinity Force is done, you've got your offensive purposes ready to go. So the Gnar in the side lane is going to be very dangerous too, and Shopify are going to keep him in the side lane while they start up the Herald. I think that should just be their Herald, but DSG are going to try and trap them in it now.
Srtty has teleport. He could look for it. So does Fudge, but Fudge already hit Mega Gnar, so he would not have Mega Gnar teleporting in. Callme's getting engaged on right now. They're using the Camille plus the Galio combo, locking down the Cassiopeia, and they're out of there. Herald's still up. KryRa's looking to go over the wall onto Bvoy. Cataclysm does not have enough damage. He flashes out. Blast go to safety. Srtty taking over the fight in the river, picks up one. Ezreal now trying to bounce back in. It's Fudge holding the line as it's a 1-for-1 trade. Not too shabby from Srtty to make it an equal one.
Yeah, that was a lot closer. With Srtty coming in and blending them up in the river fight. So close there, too. KryRa did not hesitate in following the Arcane Shift and then the flash from Ezreal over the wall. We had the mind games there, and it came down to one last auto. Barely not enough, but back to our delete the Cassio strat, all right? We full dive. We send all the ultimates on the Cassio. Cassio is dead. That opens up for DSG. You see over here, Srtty arrives now, stunned against the wall, but then he's going to get in there and be able to pump the extra damage along with sajed to be able to get the other kill. This was the one auto left on Bvoy that we were talking about, with KryRa trying to follow and instantly being responded to. But they did get the 1-for-1 and took out Contractz, so they didn't have a smite left on the side of Shopify, and the Herald still lives because of it.
Herald not down, so could see a round 2 here. But also, it's crucial that Fudge just barely had his Mega form while he TP'd in. I was keeping track of that before. If that fight had been like 2 seconds later, probably wouldn't have had it, as now it's about fighting for Vision. And you know what I mentioned earlier, I like to keep track of this in games that Camille support is around. We called her a toddler earlier, just running around the map. Now a teenager, has that first item built. All grown up here, as that is where Camille really starts to be a problem. Once you have one item on the Camille, you already can look to just one-shot things like
they're going to fight this again, too. Look, Contractz can come down from the top side. They've got Vi ultimate ready again. Look, Galio ult not quite ready for the follow-up, though. They could delay.
Galio's also all the way on the bottom lane here. Cassiopeia will TP in. DSG will get the Herald. And that means Galio will be able to shove in the full wave, so Zinie will at least get some turret plate gold for himself.
Nice little kind of fake there from Shopify, yeah, because since they don't have, teleport for Galio, you have to walk a fairly long way up the river, but they still got the teleport out of Callme, the safety teleport from DSG, because they threatened it. And because you get that teleport away, you get gold on the bottom side for, the Galio with the turret plate money. You got to just push in.
Got a wave too.
And it was kind of like, I wasn't going to come anyway. We were a few seconds off some of our big cooldowns. And so they still get their cross-map play. Plus the reward, it's just the Herald. It's not that big. It's worth basically a few
Herald
plates
could be
there
anything.
on top
It
of
could
it
even
too.
be a couple plates, Yeah. It depends on what you do with the Herald. So let's see what KryRa is able to do with this Herald. Currently on the top half of the map, but it doesn't look like he's just going to drop it down right away. Dragon has spawned as well.
Okay, and Lyonz is getting some early vision behind the Dragon Pit, but looks like Contractz already going to be able to sweep that out and find it. So good setup for them. Honestly, Cassio's recalling too, so this is guaranteed Dragon. So you can count this as kind of like a side benefit as well of the earlier play, and another little bit of cost for DSG getting that Herald, and Shopify should be able to easily get this, but the problem is, can they get on afterwards? Cassio's back, so they got the objective.
KryRa drops the Herald mid, so they're going to make a play there while preventing Shopify from getting back to the mid lane. Herald will charge, and that turret shouldn't be long for this world. If Herald's able to get 2 more autos off, no. One more away, but the satchel should be enough. There we go. Sajed rotates mid, and that is first structure for DSG.
Okay. Very close game we have on our hands here. Going to come down to these team fights. And some more opportunities for side lane plays still available. Fudge's teleport also coming back up very quickly. So Shopify have a lot of mobility across the map. Of course, Shen ult as well as the Ziggs teleport are also ready. So DSG can try and set up their thing on top side. But already trailing lane gank from Ezreal and Contractz headed top. Contractz makes a call, though. Hey, this is not going to be a play from DSG, so there's nothing to counter there. I'll get back into my camps and keep on farming.
I'm surprised, though, that we didn't see Zinie actually go for the rotation. He backed. I thought they wanted to match Galio into Cassiopeia. Srtty gets a lot of alone time here on the turret now. Not enough to take the whole thing down, but that's a lot of gold into Srtty's pocket, who's now 20 CS up over Fudge, who built some armor and is currently laning against the cast.
Yeah, and they don't want Zinie here with all this magic resist to be laning against Srtty.
Yeah.
So that's why they're sending Fudge down the lane now to try and get there. But yeah, you're rightly pointing out, a lot of priority there for Srtty, and he was able to get some extra damage on the tower. But now they've got both of them bottom.
It felt like Zinie was ready for the rotation at that reset, but Fudge wasn't because he was trying to get the wave in. I'm not exactly sure, but either way, DSG will get some plays for Srtty bot side. They'll get a full turret top side. This is a fantastic rotation for DSG. As long as Srtty can live here, we see Contractz nearby.
4 people.
Zinie and Fudge. They're going for the Mega Gnar. Srtty, can you survive another dive? The Ziggs ult will come in. Stand united early from Lyonz. As Shopify just diving past the turret. Ezreal goes over the wall, and he's the focus now. Hextech ultimatum onto Srtty, but the Galio ult goes a little wide. Srtty's still alive for now. Everybody's focused on him. It's a 1-for-1 trade as Cataclysm from KryRa. Fudge gets a kill onto Srtty, but KryRa takes down Contractz. Shopify Rebellion looking to escape with 3 as DSG hoping to rout them off. Callme over the wall. Can prevent Bvoy's escape path as he looks onto sajed. Flash out from the Ziggs. Lyonz looking for the damage for the kill here. Can they give it to Callme? They can. The mid laner getting some more gold, and DSG answered the dive.
I think they can get Baron too. They have Cassio. Cassio damage can just burn through Baron. DSG, they've got priority. They have teleport from Ziggs too. They're heading over to that area. Looks like they make the call with the teleport that they see coming from Fudge. Maybe it's too dangerous with Fudge.
Yeah.
Or are they just setting the vision first?
Srtty's about to come up and he has teleport.
Okay.
They're not going to go for it. I thought with that TP they could. Bvoy still at 15 seconds, but nope. DSG decide, let's go spend that gold that we just got instead. That's a Seekers now completed for Callme.
Yeah, that play goes completely sideways for Shopify because they don't instantly Camille ult. Because the Camille ult is not used instantly, you actually got Srtty over the wall. He was able to go over the wall instead of immediately going for it on this right side.
We're diving bot this wave.
They have Shen ult, so they can play around it.
Cassio has TP.
I just want to hit the
Guys,
tower.
I don't think I can be involved in
this. That's okay, you can't be involved, it's fine.
You can push. That's it. Okay.
I'm still looking.
Get Ambessa.
Yeah,
Ambessa.
no flash. We can finish. He should die.
Cassio,
looks bad,
It's bad. Dip. I will maybe die here too.
Can you look?
Fantastic petrifying gaze coming in from Callme there. The Cataclysm on top of it. So much damage up front there from DSG, and they're even getting more. Reminder that DSG are the guest spot in the LCS. They have a promo tournament coming up here, Kobe, at the end of summer. No matter how well they do, they will have to play in that to defend the spot, but already things are looking pretty good for them in summer.
Yeah, got to keep yourselves sharp and keep that in the back of your minds at the end of summer. Currently, though, at the beginning of summer, they've got some plans for Baron. It's been a little bit delayed from the earlier opening, but they still have full vision coverage all over everywhere leading up to Baron, so they can try and put the pressure on Shopify, continually controlling this jungle area and everything leading up to Baron. You start to get through all these blue trinket cooldowns. There goes Bvoy's blue trinket, and so Fudge is the last one with an extra blue trinket cooldown, and he's side laner, so it gets a little dicey. You have to keep on using more cooldowns and more cooldowns to check, even when DSG are actually in the fog of war recalling and resetting and making sure that they are ready to fight.
10 seconds until that dragon. Shopify Rebellion currently control the access point, but with that one controller from DSG, they feel confident to walk forward. They're looking at Fudge. KryRa taking a lot of damage to start things off here and didn't get any back onto Fudge. Great kiting from Shopify's top laner on the Gnar. Making full use of the hyper stacks. KryRa's going to go back and try and heal up off of Wolves, but that means that Shopify have free access to the Dragon, and KryRa will just come right back to the team. They realize they do not have time for that. Fudge is just trying to stop Srtty on the top side here. They chain CC'ing him, but he is alive. Public execution goes in. Cataclysm. It's a wombo combo from DSG, and they'll get 2 kills. KryRa's back onto the Dragon, not able to steal it away. Contractz secures that one and gets out, but 2 kills to DSG.
Okay, and now it's got to be Baron for DSG. They didn't lose anyone, and they killed off 2 members of Shopify. I mean, Srtty, they literally sent everything on Srtty on the side to try and burst this Ambessa, and they could not take him down.
incredible how long he survived for. Doesn't even have Asterix yet. It's just the base stats of the Ambessa plus some of the shielding coming in from the Eclipse, as well as the abilities themselves. But DSG's top laner survives, and now they reward themselves with the Baron. KryRa's low. Okay, he gets it. Ooh, I wasn't nervous. He was fine.
Yeah, it's all for a theatrical sake.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah, I knew the whole time.
All right, Contractz trying to do at least something on the other side as well. But so, I mean, it gets crazy. Everybody goes to full set over here onto the Ambessa. Galio ultimate, plus the Gnar, plus the Camille, all damage being pumped into him. But since Bvoy wasn't there and Contractz was still on the Dragon, they didn't have enough to fully finish him off. Thank goodness for Shopify, though, that he hits the smite. Because that is Dragon's soul point. That is the third Dragon for Shopify. So Contractz trying to hold on and save that little bit of skirmish.
And you can see Srtty's stats here. We talked about it earlier. He had a fantastic end to spring split. He only was in for 4 games for DSG when Castle got traded, but he looked good in those, and he's looking good right now. I got a question, though, from Shopify's side, as they're going to try and catch his way bot lane, is they're full sending onto the Ambessa. You talked about the importance of the Wombo combo, the Hero's Ultimatum. How do you use that? Callme or sajed are probably the ideal targets, but no, they're sending it onto the top laner instead. So I think if Shopify, if they tweak their targeting, go for the carries, they're going to have much more success.
Or if they had like a little bit more damage there, or someone maybe if they still had Ezreal ult even, if they hadn't had to use it to like vision check or something, then maybe if they had enough damage to squeeze out the kill, it could be a very different story. But now, since they did lose out on the Baron, they're under siege, getting pressured under their own towers, and they're just thinking, let's lose. Wait,
they're going to full send right now. Hextech Ultimatum. This time the Hero's Entrance is true, and they took down the carry. Ziggs is out of there. They got 3. DSG are routed. Shopify Rebellion find their engage, and they want more. Trying to stop Srtty on the retreat. Callme's using the space bought by the Ambessa. Can't get the damage out right now. The taunt will not land from Galio. Shopify still have 5 members strong. The flash petrifying gaze from Callme. Is that going to be enough damage to take down Bvoy? It is not, as Callme will fall back into the stasis to survive a little longer. But it's just that a shutdown comes in for Zinie. Shopify Rebellion get the ace.
Oh my, I was about to say, oh, Shopify probably thinking, let's lose as little as possible until Dragon comes up. No! Contractz is thinking, let's win the game right now! Q flash into ulti, into Camille and Galio ults. This time, Kangas, all 5 members pull off the combo, and they do have enough damage. Then even with both solo lanes left up here, yeah, they're fairly dangerous, solo lane carries, but it's 2v5. Callme goes with the ult flash out of the brush, out of vision, but they don't have enough to be able to finish off anybody besides Zeyzal, and so it's gonna be Shopify taking over.
Flash. Ambessa, no flash. Nice job.
Well played from Shopify Rebellion's jungler to find that initial engage. Contractz saw the angle and he goes for it. Zeyzal follows up. Zinie follows up. Right when I was saying it, Kobe, they did it. The Hero's Ultimatum landed onto the right target that time, and with sajed out of the fight before it even began, it meant that DSG were not able to continue the siege. Now, still a gold lead for DSG. Now their Seeker's Arm Guard on sajed, so let's see if Shopify can find another angle like that, but at least it's signs of life for the Rebellion.
Yeah. I mean, that is just huge. Last time at the Dragon fight, Contractz secures the smite onto the Dragon, give them the win condition for later. This time at the defense, he uses Q flash to get the initiation, the critical initiation. Then they don't hesitate, and they got a lot of summoner spells, including flashes and teleports, out of DSG as DSG tried to salvage the situation. But now, the table has turned, and Shopify, they get to push back out. 25 seconds left on this Dragon Soul arrival, though. And they are so far on the other side of the map, I guess they're just giving it up.
Seems like DSG currently.
They're going to walk there, though. I mean, you still have to check into Fog of War, which makes it dangerous. I guess they feel like, you know what, it's fine. They aren't going to burst it down, and we feel okay checking into Fog of War, but vision advantage being given up is interesting.
Checking Fog of War into Cassiopeia is a terrifying prospect. As Zinie's all alone right now in the mid lane. DSG look to pounce on the Galio. Cataclysm used. He's trying to Hero's Entrance out.
Dragon
will buy
down.
some time with the Seeker's Arm Guard, and he's just delaying for the Dragon Soul for the team. Callme's going to go in. Zinie's buying so much time. That's petrifying gaze down. as Callme will eventually chase down Zinie. Should have enough for the kill. The poison takedown, one last Twin Fangs does get it. As Dragon was peeled off by Shopify Rebellion. Contractz is going to go in for the steal. Srtty misses the ultimate, and there it is! Dragon sold to Shopify Rebellion. Can they win the fight afterwards? Fudge is onto the backline. Sajed is out of there. It's all down to Callme. Can he make it happen? Srtty gets one out of Contractz. That's 2 down on each side as Bvoy goes forward. But Callme without the Petrifying Gaze can't do as much right now. DSG back off. Contractz gets it done.
It always feels like with the Shopify games, they never have 100% control of their plays. It's always like, oh, it's a little bumpy this road. Uh-oh, we know we got...
They're off-roading right now.
Yeah, our mid laner is dead. But they get in here, Archangel for it. Contractz able to dodge away from Srtty's ulti and then steal the dragon again. Contractz is able to hit it, grab the dragon soul for the team. And DSG, they had just killed the Galio. They did not need to put literally any damage into this dragon.
Yeah.
They just put 0 damage so that the Cassio has time to get back over to them. But then...
get a little antsy.
Yeah, Shopify, they slip back in. They're like, all right, you're leashing it now.
Yep.
Okay, then we'll come back. And they steal it. Now they have the Dragon Soul. They got extra kills afterwards, Kangas. I think we were correct with the amount of action we were going to get in this game.
It's been a fun one. Took a little bit to ramp up, 21 kills in 31 minutes, but now that we've arrived, these fights are explosive. And a little crazy as well, as the next one should happen around the Baron. Contractz wrapping around for a flank on the Vi. Sajed does not have the Seeker's Arm Guard anymore. They're going to engage instead onto Srtty, but it's just a little poke. Srtty walks out, Zinie's pushing in the top wave, and currently Shopify are controlling the access point for DSG to that top tier 2.
Yeah, Srtty's had a hard time hitting a lot of these Ambessa ults too, so maybe they need to have like KryRa and Lyonz try and set him up for it maybe. With like a Jarvan engage with Shen and have a taunt.
Landed that one, public execution onto Zinie. Has a lot of magic resist, not a lot of armor into the stasis as Zinie's trying to stay alive. Now the Cataclysm comes in. Zazel with the Hextech ultimatum cannot save his mid laner. TP for good measure. DSG just picked 2 at the Baron.
Is it a Baron now? Because they use teleport to get over there. We're still going to look for another possible reverse here as DSG have retaken the gold lead.
Contractz is ready. Contractz has an angle. He was not spotted. Blast Cone over, still not spotted. No vision in that top tri brush. Now they drop down the flag. They see Contractz there. He could look to Vault Breaker over the wall. Has the flash as well. If Contractz gets this, Petrifying Gaze is true. It lands. But now Contractz will just peel off instead. Shopify are engaging onto DSG. They take down Sajed. They take down Lyonz as well as the tier 2 turrets. So just going for the fight instead means that that's 2 less members wearing purple.
I love it.
Wow.
Keeping them interested here. They get the kill while Contractz is just threatening, hey, you know that I steal a lot of objectives, right?
My smite
is very, very good.
Especially after that dragon, you know, you got to imagine KryRa was sweating.
Yeah, and so him threatening around the backside, but it was a good Petrifying Gaze over the top there from Callme to keep Contractz out and threaten him, but he's back.
Speaking of, Contractz is looking for the engage. Flash up from Callme as the hero's entrance comes in. Now, teleport from Fudge. He's close to Mega. Callme's in trouble. Not stunned into the wall, but stunned from the wall up, and that is a pick. Fudge on a rampage. Shopify catch Callme.
Dude, Contractz makes another big play. I mean, the scoreline is not the thing that's going to catch your eye.
Yeah.
But think of all these critical moments in this game from Contractz, and he's the one who starts out this pick onto Callme and gets Callme's flash, allowing Fudge to teleport and follow up on the play and get a critical pick. And it's really kept Shopify on course for their win conditions to win this game, even though it's been very exciting. We've had the back and forth, and we've had the objectives going both ways. Once again, Shopify now correct their course back to taking the lead. They also have a lot of map control with a lot of these really deep wards back here too, so they can threaten these engages again with Camille ult being ready. You have to be very cognizant here.
Yeah. Zinie could look for a TP flank. It would only be the Zinie, only the Galio, the Zinie coming in, but still is a possibility. We got a minute and a half till that Elder Dragon fight. It's now a gold lead for Shopify Rebellion. It is Dragon Soul for Shopify Rebellion, and you got to imagine Shopify.
Are we going to try to dive in the end with Galio Vial, like some crazy play?
If I can,
it's not bad to fight right away.
It's not
Cassio
bad.
Noir
Okay,
here.
let's just.
I'm TPing above her.
Yep, we're full committed here.
Yeah,
we're full committed.
Looks good.
Has flash.
Yeah, I can kill her off though. Play with me.
I'm on Jarvan here.
Jarvan no flash. Cassio no flash.
Cassio will die. Cassio will die.
Nice job.
Can we siege? They have
I love that.
Yeah, they're all looking for a play. They're talking. Zazel's talking about. Fudge is talking about it. And Contractz being there taking Raptors was kind of great position for it. It turned out as a Cassio was coming around the corner.
I love just the line of communication. Starts with Zazel saying, we're full committed here. And then TP comes in. Fudge says, I'm on Cassiopeia. Funny the Contractz says I'm on J4 right afterwards. But still, it worked out.
The Cassio flashed away.
Yeah. You know, what's he going to do? All right, now it's 40 seconds until that Elder Dragon. Still heavy favor for Shopify Rebellion in this current position. Not only do they have the gold lead and the Dragon Soul, they also have control to the access point. So DSG are going to have to find a creative way to enter that bottom river.
Yeah, they definitely are going to have to get a little creative. They still have a lot of firepower, so I want to see if they can pull it off. You know, if they can get, I mean, KryRa right here positioning with his Guardian Angel.
Srtty's very far forward. Wow. He's just leading the charge. KryRa now looking to engage on a Fudge yet again. He's kiting back, building up that rage bar. As San United came in from Lyonz, but it was not close enough. Fudge will have Mega Gnar pop now, which could be good for DSG. If they delay the fight from this position, they can fight a mini Gnar instead of a Mega Gnar.
They have lost mid prio as well, though. They're losing health on J4 and losing mid prio because Zinie's all the way up.
Yeah. This is the mark of a young team, in my opinion, an inexperienced team. They can't quite decide where they're going to go. You can see it. They're kind of hovering between the river and the mid. Now Srtty's catching that mid wave. Blue buff is secured. Callme picks that one up. But the Dragon has not been started yet, and that just means that Fudge can start building up another rage bar, as that's Bvoy flashing out from the banana brush. Now in goes Fudge, looking for the big engage. Not going to find it there. Callme's into stasis. Zazel's looking for him right out of it. Petrifying Gaze lands, but the chain CC's there. Callme's out of it. Srtty's trying his best to turn the play, but the hero's entrance will land onto 2. And the GAs are now popped. Srtty on a killing spree, still alive, still pumping damage to Jed as well. DSG are doing their best to hold this. It's all down to Srtty, but Shopify Rebellion's AD carry is untouched, and he gets a double kill. Shopify Rebellion stand tall. As DSG get knocked down, you got to imagine that's enough for the Elder Dragon.
I haven't seen Revan smile yet. We've shown him a couple times after they won some fights, and this
they could have done
Elder
that
Dragon.
One better. They could have aced him.
Yeah, I mean, this one does mean Elder Dragon for them too. So, at the very least, this is going to secure Shopify, you know, control of the entire map. With Baron coming up in 1 minute, it theoretically should also guarantee you Baron. And so, Elder Dragon, they honestly could delay it too. Wait for Camille. 1 second. Thanks.
Solid. Get it onto all 5 members, and there they have it. Dragon Soul plus the Elder Dragon plus now a 5,000 gold lead. So DSG showed signs of life, but as we look at the replay here, Shopify Rebellion are able to take out the key carry. It's all about Callme.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. They have double engage, super blast cone, and then Contractz is, even though his ulti does get immune by the Zhonya's, they still get the Camille and the Galio in there, and they delete that Cassiopeia. So the dive does go off successfully. However, the counter, they were making you think here. With Srtty and sajed's damage, the Ziggs damage over here is making it second guess a little bit as the GAs are coming back up. But Bvoy, fully stacked lethal tempo, Ezreal on the side, is able to pull it out. And Contractz gives him an angle to go back in. On the side, nice cue from him to re-enter and allow the Ezreal to finish that fight up. And that all started when Bvoy Arcane shifted forward and then flashed backwards at the beginning of the fight. So they were trying to play off it and kind of bait him in with no flash left on the Ezreal.
As Baron started, we want to remind you, Bvoy on Ezreal, most played champion. Bvoy on Ezreal, least favorite champion.
He did say that he doesn't like it, but he has had a lot of success on it.
Just so good on it, you know?
Yeah.
Sorry, Bvoy, you're going to be playing it for a little longer here. Or at least maybe a few more minutes as the Baron is secured. That's a tier 2 turret down top side. Shopify Rebellion can begin the siege now, and it's up to DSG to find some way to halt the momentum of Shopify Rebellion, but at this point you can't, at least I can't really think of clear avenues out of it. Especially with that Elder Dragon up. You just try and hold on as long as you can, wait for that Elder to go down, but see what Shopify can get done before that.
Yeah, they've got a little while here as far as the pain continuing. Might cost them both inhibitors, honestly, because as you say, the Elder and the Baron were pretty closely synced, so they still have about a quarter left on the Elder here. They can poke you down. Elder on Ezreal is extremely annoying because he's constantly firing out these mystic shots late game, and the burn really does stack up. So DSG, here's the defense, trying to defend the Nexus turrets.
Baron minions are helping out a lot right now as the Elder Dragon is still up. DSG need to wait a few more moments for that to go down before they can try and full sound, but they're going to lose all their turrets for it. A masterclass from Shopify Rebellion as now the engage comes through. The Hero's Ultimatum will land onto 2. Zinie gets the first kill. The Nexus goes down. Shopify Rebellion take game 1.
Shopify are back, starting out summer with a win. Contractz with some good smites on these dragons to be able to get them Dragon Soul.